Working on the land, walking hand in hand, riding on a deer, out where the sky is clear. Getting up at dawn, dirty boots and brawn, investing in the soil, reaping fruits of toil. The old MacDonald farm. The old MacDonald farm. The old MacDonald farm.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Old MacDonald Farm. It's about 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning and we are heading up Cadell Mountain. Should be at the farm here in about 10 minutes. I know it's been a while, been a long time since I've had a video. In all honesty, we've been so busy, I've been so busy working that a lot of times it's just truly kind of a hassle to have to pick up a camera and shoot some video. I've got work, I got to get it done, and sometimes that just takes up some extra time, so I haven't been very faithful about doing videos. We'll try to get a little better, and I will definitely get you caught up on what's happened in the last couple of weeks. So today we're going to spend a lot of time on tractors. We're going to be on the riding tractor, the Husqvarna, which is behind me here, if you can see that. We took that into town, gave it an oil change, air filter, cleaned the deck, basically gave it some spring maintenance. So we'll be mowing the yard around the house today, but more importantly, we're going to break out the John Deere and the rotary cutter, and we're going to be mowing the 2.5 acre parcels of wildflowers. Before I mow those, I'll show you what they look like, but the flowers are definitely starting to grow. Not a lot of blooms or anything yet, but what I'm supposed to be doing is mowing those down so the energy from the plant goes into the root system. Basically, this year we're trying to develop a good, strong root system to crowd out the weeds and the other things, and then next year we'll be able to let all those flowers bloom. So I'll get you all caught up on that. We have a deck project that is maybe finished today. I think they needed 2 more boards. But basically a deck has been finished. All kinds of little things that have happened over the last few weeks. So we're about 5 minutes out from the farm, and we'll get you all caught up on everything. So here we go. Okay, we made it up to the farm. It's a beautiful day, about 70 degrees, beautiful clear skies. Oh, that's interesting. They've mowed that pasture over there already. Everybody's getting their first cutting of hay already this season. All right, so the first new thing we need to talk about, dun dun dun, is a new deck on the back here. Our friends at Appalachian Deck out of Brewston Mills in Morgantown. I think we talked to them about 5 months ago about getting this project started, and they've been really busy, but we now have the start of a new deck. I think we're about a day away from getting it finished. I suppose they could show up today because I've seen them working on Saturdays, but very, very nice. We went with a composite deck. I don't know if this is Trex brand specifically. Yes, it is Trex brand. It's a gray finish, but basically I really like, there's a lot of really good quality things here in terms of how they've done this. Obviously we've got some concrete pillars there to keep the wood up off the ground. They've used the metal in between. What I really like is that they put a new leaderboard in along the house, and so basically we don't have posts in the back in terms of supporting this. All the weight's on the house on that leaderboard, but it makes a nice clean look here. They also covered, I noticed, the top parts of the wood with a kind of water-resistant, waterproof tape there. You can see we got a little rain last night, and it's just sitting on there. So instead of the wood, you know, having that water sit on there and slowly kind of rot that away, this will protect the wood for a long time. So we got composite because of the weather up here, because of the amount of snow that's going to be on that deck, the rain, the wind, the thought of having to stain this deck every 2 years probably up here. It just made sense to get a composite. It's going to hold up a lot better, hold up a lot longer. The next part that they've got to finish, basically the front of this deck, we're going to have rails on the side, black metal rails on each side, and then the whole entire front of the deck is going to be stairs. from the entire width of the deck there. It's going to be stairs coming down, so it's really going to open up the deck to the yard. The whole concept of this here is that we're having the house flow into the field, basically. You know, when we're up here, when we're entertaining up here, people will be going into the house, use the bathroom, the kitchen, you know, all those kinds of things. But then they can just spill out of the house into the yard. We keep the trails mowed, head down to the barn pad, sit here on the deck and watch the sunset, whatever it may be. So I'm really, really happy with what I see here. This looks like these guys definitely know what they're doing. This is very, very good quality in terms of what I'm seeing. So that's the first thing. I could be done today. I don't know if they'll be working on a Saturday. I have seen them working on a Saturday, but otherwise we should have this done Monday or Tuesday of next week. The deck will be all done. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is our garden, which we have not had any progress on other than getting it tilled a couple of times. Unfortunately, the grass is coming back at this point, and we did get a tomato trellis put up. I suffered a massive head injury as a result of trying to put this thing in. I'm okay now, but basically this is going to be a trellis for beans, for tomatoes, all those kinds of things. So Lisa's been busy for the last 2 weekends, so I doubt she's even going to be able to come out, but we've basically decided if we don't get seeds in the next week or so, there's probably not much point. Here is a small potato garden. I think there's regular potatoes here, and I think she's going to do some sweet potatoes there. This is the garlic, doing very well. These 2 rows here, we were able to get some cardboard down and some mulch to kind of help with the weeds. And then again, the garden's been tilled a couple of times. There are a lot of rocks in here. It's really crazy how rocky this area is, considering just right over there at Brandon's property, there were no rocks at all when I tilled that ground up. So this is the start of a garden, but it's not a garden yet. Later we'll go down, I'll show you the trees. I don't know if you can see the white tubes, tree tubes down there. We'll go down there and take a look at that. But I've also planted some witch hazel. I had some extra witch hazel that the tree company had sent me, so I planted them up here. I think there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 witch hazels along here, just to create a little bit of a barrier between this and over there. They are doing really well. Really starting to leaf up. My only concern is when these start to come over the top of the cage. I don't think the deer will eat them, but it is possible, so I may have to work on these cages, making them a little taller. So basically they're all doing really well, popping up. Nice. Put some cardboard down as a weed suppression. You know, that way we don't have to weed eat all the time. But yeah, all of these are starting to pop up. And we'll have some nice witch hazel along here. Oh, this is some milkweed. Good stuff. That's good for butterflies. Monarch butterflies like milkweed a lot. All right, so down here on the barn pad, I am a little disappointed this year because there are a lot of autumn olives out here in the field. I had this really well under control, but again, this is an invasive species. It's been 2 years since I've really had the time to focus on them, and as a result, they have popped up. So later this summer, I'll be brush hogging about 1/3 of this, and I can mow a lot of those down. But this fall, I'm probably going to have to get in there with the Tordon and my hand saw and start cutting them down again. Okay, so one of the big projects for today, I want to get the yard mowed at the house, although it's not critical. Grass isn't real long. But what is critical is getting the John Deere out here with the rotary cutter and cutting this down. I can see that we've got a good combination of the natural grasses, some of the grasses that were in the seed mix, and there are different flowers. I'm seeing yellows and whites and daisies and purples, and you know, we're starting to get some flowers. But I need to cut this down because we want the energy of that flower to go into its root system as opposed to the bloom. So what that will do is help them get a lot more entrenched, help the flowers crowd out the weeds, and make it a more successful crop next year. So I had mowed the field up by the road once already this spring. I just never got around to this one because we've had so much rain. So we're going to let the dew kind of burn off. The sun is coming out now, so we need things to dry out a little bit. And then we're going to get into this field. Okay, we're up in what I call the northern field. This is the other half acre that we planted with wildflowers. and it's doing really well. I had actually mowed this down once already. I brought the Husqvarna up here and mowed it to about 4 inches because we were getting a lot of yellow rockets. We didn't plant yellow rockets. We'd never seen yellow rockets before, so we assume what happens is when the soil got tilled, we stirred up some old seeds. They're not invasive, but they're not part of what we were trying to do out here, so I came out and mowed them down, and hopefully we got those before they went to seed. Okay, so we're down here in the lower field. You're already familiar with the chestnut trees. We planted 12 chestnut trees. Gosh, it's probably been 2 months ago now, maybe even more. And they are doing fantastic. They are all leafed out. All the tree tubes are showing signs of very healthy plants within there. So those are really starting to take off. The witch hazel, a couple of rows up from here, are doing really well. Those are all starting to take off. The yellow poplar in this row right here are seemingly not doing very well. I'm not really seeing buds on them. There's like 1 or 2 of them that had a green leaf on it. Typically what I'm seeing are just these dead sticks. So I got in touch with the seed company. When I received that shipment, I had some concerns because the roots looked pretty dry. They weren't wrapped very well. And they said, soak them in some water and you'll be fine. So I did that. We've planted them. We've put them in the tree tubes. And so far, nothing. So seeing the chestnut trees are doing well and the witch hazel are doing really well, it just seems like we should have some green leaves or something on here. So unfortunately, to replace these, I need to do what's called a scratch test. So we have to take the tree tube off. We have to take a knife blade and just kind of rub the bark. And based on if we see bright green and white under there, that means it's alive. It's just dormant. But if we see brown or gray or anything like that, or if it's dry, then basically the plant is dead and I'll have to replant it. Shouldn't be too hard because I've already got loose soil around there and we've already got tree tubes and all that, but kind of a hassle, and I'm kind of disappointed. I won't be ordering from Tennessee Nursery anymore. So that's what we're going to get into today. So we're going to go get properly equipped and we're going to start taking some tree tubes apart and see what's going on in there in terms of the plants. Here we go. Okay, down here in the lower field, it's a super hassle, but I took the tree tubes off and it looks like about 14 of these yellow poplars are dead. Probably 7 to 10 of them have like one tiny little leaf at the base or just a couple of little leaves. I'm gonna roll the dice on those and hope that they come through. There's 2 or 3 that look great, look really good, like there's a tree in there growing. But basically the scratch test is you take a knife and kind of scrape up a little bit of the bark, and that should be green. If it's alive. If it's brown and gray and things like that, then it's dead. So 14 of these appear to be dead. So I'll be contacting Tennessee Nursery and hoping that they will fulfill making those, sending me some new ones, basically making that good. If not, I'll never be doing business with them again because I have 350 trees to order and I can't deal with the work that's involved with planting trees only to find out they're dead. So, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Old McDonald Farm. It's a Sunday morning. I am shutting things down and heading back to town. I've got a lunch today. Just thought I'd give you a real quick recap on what happened yesterday. I actually sat out on the deck a little bit and played some guitar last night. That was pretty cool.
Excellent!
But I did manage to get both wildflower fields mowed down, so that was fantastic. I set the rotary cutter for the highest setting, which I think probably cut these down to about 7 inches, 6-7 inches, something like that. Took a while, took probably over an hour of tractor time, but basically just did a rough cut and got everything kind of hacked down here. So what that should do is let the flowers grow a little stronger because I've kind of cut down the ability of the weeds to block out the sunlight. Also got all my paths mowed and just did a lot of mowing yesterday. Got the yard of the house mowed and all that stuff. I went down to the orchard area and found 14 of the poplar trees. I did a scratch test on them. They don't seem to be doing really well. So I've got about 14 trees down there that I'll probably need to replace. Heading over here to the other field, much the same. There was one area that I did not mow because I saw some birds that were really upset. So I'm assuming they have a nest in there. So there was one kind of large area up here I just left alone. The strangest thing happened when I was mowing this field. I was down to like 2 or 3 more paths. All of a sudden a fawn, a baby deer, popped up and ran out of there. She had been hiding from me despite all the noise and how close I was to her. She waited till the very last minute and then popped up and ran out of there. So she ran down into this area. So somewhere down here there's a little fawn. From the Old McDonald Farm, thank you for watching, and I'll try to do a better job of keeping you up to speed. At this point, there's not really many projects left, just a lot of maintenance. I don't know how exciting it'll be to watch me mow the lawn or paint some kitchen cabinets. So this may actually be coming to the end of this series unless we get some major projects going. We'll definitely keep you up to speed on the USDA project. We'll have some brush hogging this summer. We have marked trees in the woods. I got with a USDA biologist, and the area of edge feathering that we need to do, he helped me mark the trees, so I have probably 25 trees that I need to cut down. We'll get into explaining that project, and then of course we're going to be planting trees for a long time to come. We have a total of 350 trees we need in the ground by next September 2027. All right, well that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.